it's not like a destination. It's like an action. It's a journey. It's never a place. If your goal is that perfect work-life balance, you're never going to hit it. There's understanding and having checks all the time that spent, a lot of time with family, great. The business is kind of sliding. All right, let's focus on the business. It's just kind of being aware and going back and forth and understanding that and not being disappointed that you're never perfect for either one. You're just doing your best to keep it balanced. So it's definitely more of an action, I think, than like a noun, like a place. So we got Stratton Brown. We're going to get into a lot of different things, but if you wouldn't mind, Stratton, just give the people a couple-minute intro. Those that are listening that don't know who you are watching, just a little bit of intro on kind of you, I guess, and just take it wherever you want to for a few minutes to kind of give the people a feel for who you are.
Okay, sweet. So my name is Stratton Brown. I'm from a small town in Utah called Wholesale. I grew up, both of my parents were entrepreneurs. Most of the people in my neighborhood were entrepreneurs. Right, because I grew up extremely Mormon, and everyone was like a tradesman in my neighborhood, right? And so like my best friend's dad was a plumber, the people behind us were the big contractors, the guy in front of me was a mason, the guy down the street was a mechanic, my dad was an electrician, and my mom owned an adoption agency. And so like everybody did their own thing, and then my uncles owned like landscaping companies, and these aren't like huge companies, these are just like people who, it's like I was going to do it on my own. And so I've been exposed to entrepreneurship forever. Growing up, my dad told me you need to be a dentist. He's like, no, you're not going to be an electrician. You're going to be a dentist. You're going to work 4 days a week. You're going to make tons of money. This is what you want. When I learned I had to do a bunch of math, I was for sure out of it. And then from there, coming out of high school, I had scholarships in 3 different sports. I had a 4-eyed scholarship in rugby. I had some football scholarships, and I had a 4-eyed track scholarship. Chose to go to a junior college and play football. Then I transferred to Fresno State, was all conference, 17th in the country in tackles, made it to the league, and learned that I am nowhere near as athletic as I need to be to play safety in the NFL. A completely different game. I was not big enough or fast enough. Like you guys say I'm big. They drafted a dude who was 6'3", 225, and he ran a 4.3 the same year that I got picked up at safety. And like I went to Seattle when Cam Chancellor was there.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Yeah, it's a different level when they get to there, isn't it?
It was a good level, but I think the biggest thing, like it kind of shows you the real world to where there's a bunch of dudes who are like Uncle Ricos who said like, if I had a chance, blah, blah, blah. I personally think in sports, if you are so good and you force the coach's hand to play you because you just ball out of control, you'll play. And I didn't force the Seahawks to pick me up because I wasn't like making plays every single play. Because if you go out there and you ball, you'll get picked up. In entrepreneurship, if you go out and you produce, you're going to make money, right? And so it like showed me that like either you produce or you don't. There's not a whole ton of politics because their paychecks depend on you balling out of control. And if you don't ball out of control, they got to find someone else who can.
On your wholesale side of things, do you guys wholesale virtually or you guys stick to one market?
No, right now we are nationwide. I think we have like 20 active contracts across the country that we're working on right now. And it's in like 15 different states. It's absolute mayhem. This is my first time doing it this way.
Yeah.
Because before I just did it in Fresno. But for this, with this challenge that I'm doing of netting $1 million in 6 months, I was like, I can't do that just in Fresno. I won't have enough. There's not enough ad spend for me to do it.
How far are you into that challenge? How many?
Bro, we are 3 months in. Last week we made a whopping $6,000. We had to cancel our first 10 contracts. And this is like real estate wholesaling wise. I went into dirty St. Louis, bro. East St. Louis is terrible.
Well, yeah, I could have told you that.
I didn't know that.
East St. Louis is in Illinois, bro. That's not even in Missouri.
Bro, East St. Louis is bananas. People can't give us these houses.
Don't take them even if they give them to you. You stay out of East St. Louis. Stay on the Missouri side if you're going to be in St. Louis. You'll be all right there most of the time.
And so we had a bunch over there that we had to end up canceling. I was like, bro, these like numbers make sense, blah, blah, blah. Stupid me. We have to end up canceling a bunch. Detroit's the same way. We had one with a comp of 180 that was right next door, the exact house. We had it and we were trying to sell it at 30 and not a single person even wanted to touch it. And it wasn't like a huge rehab. And so it's been like the learning curve of learning like different markets, bad areas, good areas, comps, non-disclosure states. But I think this next week we'll have like 50 close and then we probably have another 150 in the pipe, which is good. And like we're doing like all novations. But it'll be a grind. We're hiring on 4 sales reps next week and a dispositions person just to help backfill how lagged behind we are. But we have the lead flow, so it'll be good.
So you got this challenge. You're going live all the time. You're promoting them. You're kind of taking this massive action to scale. What's the plan after this next 3 months are over? Is it going to do another challenge, or is it just kind of a way to force you to publicly kickstart this thing and then start to kind of let things settle? What's next for you after, as far as this part of the business goes?
This part of the business, I don't know. I was like, can I get to $1 million a month? It sounds like chaos. I don't know but I think that's a fun goal to shoot for. If you're going to go nationwide, right? Have $1 million a month. A couple of my friends have done it before with a mixture of like commercial land and wholesaling.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one option, and we'll strive for that. And if you set it up the right way, it can be a good cash cow, right? Because the way I have it set up, we have a JV program with Lead Zolo because I know them really well. I don't have to shell out $100,000 in marketing every month. And so it actually does cash flow and money comes in. You just have to take money off the top and you're good to go. And then both sides of our reps are commission only. And so it's not like I have to keep forking out. And I know you guys do this. When we're spending a lot of money on marketing, the money's not coming back for 60 days and you're spending $50,000 to $100,000 a month, and that gets really stressful.
Yeah, it can for sure.
Yeah, especially if you're taking them down and cleaning lists in or rehabbing. So it could be even longer.
9 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why Novation is a good play for you too, I think.
Yeah.
You got a little less cash outlay.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, we do. I think we spend like 50 to 60 a month in marketing. Our overhead with marketing is like probably 250-ish, right?
No, it's like 215.
Oh, well, that, I mean, I wasn't
So
that
what
far
goes
off.
into that? What goes into that 215? Is that like the 7 on staff?
Well, no,
property
so we got 3 companies. So that's our 7 on staff is our property management company. Our flipping company is about 20 on staff, and that's where that Lucas could break down better than I could as far as those numbers go. What goes into that 215, 220 walls?
Yeah, definitely. Payroll's a big part of it. We pay more in payroll than we do marketing.
Yeah.
So that's 1 or 2 of your largest expenses for the month. It's either going to be payroll or marketing. For us, it's payroll. We got leadership there. We got an awesome leader that runs the whole business. So Sam and I don't have to be in the weeds every day. So that's a big investment on our part, but it's been amazing, and we're just starting to see the fruits of that. So, and then we got a full service, construction team. Lead managers, we got 8 acquisition managers right now. They're obviously not on payroll, they're commission only. We got an analytics manager, we got a marketing person, so it adds up for sure.
That company, we think we can buy about 400 houses a year with that company. And we're probably doing 200 to 250 this year. So that's kind of, so we have 3 companies, Stratton, just so you know. So we got education, which is kind of my baby, the flipping, which is kind of Luke's baby, and then we have the property ownership and management. And Lucas, we have COOs over each of those. So Lucas and I kind of can sit in the visionary CEO kind of seat in those companies. What was your biggest takeaways from Gap in the Game?
Biggest takeaway, you're going to end up killing yourself unless you read that book as a driven human being, in my opinion. And I've had conversations with my mentors about this because as an athlete, you want to be the absolute best now. There's no other exceptions. I don't care if the dude's been in the game for 5 years. We're playing the same game and I should win. And I'm upset that I'm not winning and I'm trying my best. But being able to at least reflect and see how far you've come and how you prayed or you wanted these problems now and you have them. And so you need to reflect on where you've come to. At a point in time, me and my son were homeless, to where at points in time when, let's say, money gets tight or anything else, man, we prayed for this. I wanted this so bad. Now I have these new problems. Reflect and see how far you've come. But yeah, I think every entrepreneur, if you're trying to build things and you're driven, and you'll know if you're driven, because you feel that anger and angst and anxiety all the time, but we need to do more and more and more just because you want to build dope shit. This is for you. And then I'd tell you to read Relentless by Tim Grover, because it makes you know that you're not alone.
After leaving football, would you consider yourself still a fan? Do you still have a passion for the game at all?
I love watching football because I understand how hard it is, right? I feel like that's why people watch golf, because you see a crazy shot, you're man, that's a hell of a shot. And football, when someone makes a play, I'm oh my God, this guy is insane.
Yeah.
And so that's what fires me up. I would never coach football. The amount of time commitment that these people have to make absolutely pennies and be away from their family all the time, I think is good on you, but I could never do that. I don't even want to coach my kids, honestly. Just let them go out there and be kids and do their thing. And then if I see something where they're trying to show my kid how to tackle with his head down, maybe I have to step in. I just like watching football.
Nice. Do you think your son will get into it one of these days?
I'm not actively pushing him towards it. He played rugby this last year, but football, I got hurt way more in football than I ever did playing rugby.
I was going to say football is more of a dangerous sport. I know rugby's got those big old thick dudes run into each other, but it's the rules and the way the game's played. Football's scary.
You're not running. My senior year, I hurt my neck because I went head up with a dude. I was playing deep safety. A dude broke out and I had like a 30-yard head start and I went head up with him and I didn't get low enough. And it was legitimately helmet to helmet. And I still have like neck problems to this day because I thought I got low enough. And like I was 17th in the country in tackles my senior year. Like I wasn't like a bum. And at that point in time, I was like, I do not want to tackle another soul. And so to save him, unless he plays wide receiver, he's not playing football.
Yeah.
Your brain's too important. My uncle now has early onset dementia and he's 50 years old and he's shot essentially. And so that scares me.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button, comment with something you learned, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. We give away more free advice on how to create wealth based on things we actually do every single day than any other channel on YouTube. Make sure to share this with a friend because our mission is to inspire you to think differently about freedom.